The sun is shining. We're in Potomac Yards, and we are going to head to the southwest with Cousin Gwen.
Hello, Susan.
And Cousin Susan. Heading to Lynchburg. So this is Wednesday morning, and we just passed a sign that we have left the city of Lynchburg and we are now in Campbell County on our way to the Campbell County Courthouse, which is in a little town called Rustburg, VA. It's about 7 miles southeast of the city of Lynchburg. Campbell County boundaries have changed many times over the years because the city of Lynchburg and the Campbell area of Campbell County were split off from Bedford County starting around 1782. But the city of Lynchburg kept gobbling up more land as into the 20th and 21st century. So we are not sure when Pauline Griffin told her family that she was from Campbell County originally, we're not sure what the boundaries were that she remembered. But we're going to the Campbell County Courthouse to see what we can find, look at the register of births and deaths, which is a historic record, and we'll see what we can see. We've got a beautiful day, it's cool, beautiful day, light breeze with a bite in it. It's about 51 degrees, but it feels like it's in the 40s this morning.
So we just left the Bedford County Library, and now we are at the Bedford Courthouse. Hello, Susan. How are you today? She's feeling a little better. Research makes her feel really good. So we're going to see what we can find in this really, really big, ornate courthouse here in Bedford County. We're in the Bedford County Courthouse.
I'm Karen.
And I'm Gwen.
And they're researching James Metcalf, and I have been too. And through our research, we've discovered that James Metcalf was a wife beater and just an all-around jerk.
Yes, and he is listed as the last slaveholder of Paulina Catlett Griffin.
Is it running?
Yes.
Okay. Hey everybody. We've had an amazing morning and afternoon in Bedford. We had a good time at the museum, didn't find a lot. Then people at the museum knew all the good people over at the courthouse. So we went over right next door, went to the courthouse, walked up to the right desk back in the deeds, and meet this woman named Karen. And as soon as we said that we were there to research the deeds of this man, James Metcalf, her eyes lit up. She got such big eyes. She has already done all this research on the Metcalf court case. This is a man who was really very unkind to his wife and family. His wife divorced him. His daughter, his 23-year-old, dies of consumption. He has a terrible reputation. But all the information the Griffin family has is that Paulina said that her last owner in the days of slavery was a man named James Metcalf. This is the only James Metcalf we've ever been able to find. So Karen at the registry knows the whole court case, and she gives us prints out for us not only his will and a map of the property, but her research.
All her notes, yes.
All her notes. And she knows the man who owns the house now.
She lives in the house now.
He lives in the house, and he's an attorney in Lynchburg, and she gives us his phone number and says we can call him.
So I called him.
So Gwen called him from the car, and tomorrow we're going to go meet him at the Metcalf house in Boonesboro, which is very close to the James River in Bedford County. I would think that we've already had such emotional results today. We can only imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow to go visit the farm on which our ancestors lived and worked before emancipation. This is why we came. It's one major reason why we came, and we are going to be able to achieve it. We're both very happy, very emotional, and this is only day one on our genealogy roadshow.
Then I put it back up. And of course, this was lath, and they would put up this wood, and then they would plaster to it.
Right.
And this is drywall.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
But we added these dormers back. As I said, this was all covered with plywood.
This is really.
We haven't touched the floors in these two rooms. That room was in bad shape. We had to paint it. Somebody had spilled some kind of tar in there and messed it up. This door was here, and I don't think it's had but one coat of paint on it in over 200 years.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Plus, it's still hanging on with its original
Hardware.
HL hinges.
Holdings.
This is not a. That's a.
The doorways are really wide.
Yeah. Well, Metcalf weighed 425 pounds or more.
I heard he was a big dude.
Drank whiskey every morning.
Right.
Played music with slaves. Did you read he was known as a Negro spoiler?
I hadn't heard that.
Apparently, a runaway slave was found here, and they tied him up to a tree and were whipping him, and Metcalf went out and said, "Get out of here, leave this man alone." He's also unsound. There's an order on record saying he's unsound.
Right.
I mean, if you drank 5 gallons of whiskey a week, you know.
I mean, if they were your buds, you didn't want them beaten, I guess.
Well, a lot of them did beat.
Yeah.
But this door was here, this door was here. I haven't done much with it. It's got the old hinges, it's got the rose head nails. You know what a rose head nail is? They would, every nail was made handmade, and they had a little mold. You would stick the metal wire down and then pound it, and that would flatten the head. See the head there?
Oh, yeah.
It's called rose head nail. It's the oldest. That's one of the early dating
For
signs.
metal.
Yeah.
Iron.
The other way to date is if you've got circular saw blades on your wood, that's post 1830 or so, I think.
Right.
So if you've got pit sawing straight up and down, you're
You'll
looking
see it
at
in
something old.
Right.
Let's see if we can still see this. Somebody was writing here. I can't even make it out anymore. But it's Boonesboro, Virginia, USA. I thought originally it was CSA, meaning it could have been a Confederate, somebody writing. They're probably just kids up here.
Writing on the wall.
Whoa.
A lot of
Kids have been doing that for a long time.
somebody was sneaking around on his wife and coming up here and drinking whiskey because there was whiskey bottles stuck back here. This, of course, is an added bathroom, but
Right.
I did actually salvage this door out of an 1820 house, and this is original stuff. And you see we've got just pieces of it over here. Somebody had built a whole cabinet and shelf when we bought the house. This was not the way it is now. And then we added this just because it made sense. Watch your step right here. This we had to put our heating and air in here. This was not here. Remember it was a shed roof below?
Yeah.
We jacked it up so we could put our heating and air conditioning in.
So does the house not have a basement?
It's got a
Crawl
root
space?
cellar
Root cellar. Yeah.
with no access except on hands and knees. And this is the top of the 1843 room.
Oh, right. We're now around to this side.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is all original stuff. I mean, I don't know. Those windows are original windows. I rebuilt them, but I salvaged them. But I don't know when they were put in the house. You know, it's 200 years
But there was a fireplace up here connected to the one downstairs.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't. See, this is where I haven't done my the wood trim. I don't have it. I made. Well, I actually have one piece. Or two pieces. See, it's only been 11, 12 years. I can't be expected to have finished this.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's remarkable if
But
it
see,
was.
that's original material. And I'll put it up here.
Yeah.
I usually wait for a snow in day and I work up here, but
Yeah.
so I want to do that. I want
Yeah.
This isn't original. This is some salvaged wood.
Beautiful. It's a miraculous restoration. Do you want us to go down this way?
Yep, I think
Yeah.
so.
I left my computer on the other side.
On the top
There.
floor?
Yes, on this floor.
Okay.
If y'all want to go on down, I'll get it for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna give you
This?
okay, this. Oh, hold on.
What there is that's original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this,
I'm from New England, and I mean, it's amazing that you've got so much of it left
Oh, I know.
here, let alone in New England, this would still be equally precious.
But this is all original stuff here. The doorknobs are not original. The lock is. This door is.
And how much of the floor were you able to save?
In this room, probably 50%.
Wow.
All the material in front of the fireplaces, every one of them had burned out.
Yeah, yeah.
This actually extends up under that rug, but this is replacement.
Right.
This is original. This is replacement.
Yeah, you can see. Wow.
But all this wainscot and it's all original. That mantel was not here. This wall, as I told you, had been taken out. This was the kitchen of the house. There was a wood stove here and a sink there. There was a closet right there. That window was framed there, so we knew that window went there. Original door. This is an original doorknob.
So the large windows,
Yeah.
it's
Not
really,
real energy efficient, but
No, but the light and the proportions of the house, it is Georgian. It's not large mansion, but it was definitely from that period.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, I'm sure, agrees, right?
yeah.
The proportions.
And the lights there. What do you call those? Transoms.
Yes.
I think mark it as a gentleman's home.
Right. Right. Well, the amount of glass and period
Yeah.
that they would have used, because in some of the early census and federal tax surveys in New England, I've worked for some people who once owned a house that's from the first quarter of the 19th century, and there were tax records, and the property was taxed on the number of windows it had, because that was a sign of means.
That's why down in New Orleans they have those shotgun houses. Was just very narrow and just like one window, because they did there too. This is the original color scheme. This paint, we actually tried to strip this. It would not strip. It's, I think, a milk paint. But you can see it's a cobalt blue, a dark green, and a mustard yellow. And if you research old colonial colors, this is it. There were only 4. I don't know what the other one might have been, black maybe. But all of this was painted what I call tobacco brown. Just a brown paint. One coat of paint. I stripped it. I didn't like it. There's still plaster under this wall. We just ran out of, we couldn't get a plaster. We just ended up covering it up. We had the drywall people here. But this door. See, you remember I mentioned that this was built separately.
Yeah.
And this was the doorway. This is one big piece of wood. This is not a strip of wood nailed on a strip of wood. This is all just planed out, probably with a water plane or water power. And it's, of course, pegged together. Probably slaves made it.
Incredible.
And probably with local wood. Do they
No,
tell you what kind of wood it is?
I'm not sure what that is. This is obviously pine.
Right.
Caesar was a carpenter.
But this is the most intact room. This picture molding was here, probably 2/3 of it. I've recreated some of it. That's not the original mantel. The original mantel extended across to this side. These windows were bricked. And when we bought the house, this wall, this was just a solid wall across here. And it was plaster. Horsehair plaster with split wood lath, which dated it. I mean, they built these windows and then basically walled the house off like within years. But anyway, I was crawling around up in the eaves, doing what I do in the old house. And I didn't even realize it until I got to the end. I looked down and you could see where there had been shelving put in. We found a leather-bound copy of Jonathan Swift's works of Jonathan Swift, published in England in 1812, I think.
Wow.
About a third of it eaten by mice, but it's upstairs somewhere. But as I say, this is all original. We're missing some trim there. I'm going to replace that someday. This is the original chimney here, but we lined it with stainless steel. I wouldn't light a fire in the old chimneys. But together fairly well.
There's flooring.
This is all original flooring here, and this is, I would say, 65% original.
That's wonderful.
Of course, the door is original. Upstairs. This upstairs is pretty
Methodist.
because you would think he would have been buried up here, but I've wandered around up there.
I'm on the Metcalf farm, walking toward the cemetery.
Faye and Ray died at birth. Here's Lizzie. That's one of them. Lizzie and Lillian. Let's see, Josiah, Lovelace, Daniel, and Harry.
Brothers.
And Harry Daniel is a name if you're out on the in Richmond on the, I don't know if it's the Powhite or anyway, one of those roads that rolls through Chesterfield. Look up on the signs, you'll see Harry Daniel. Not this, it could be this guy, I guess. But he went over there and did okay, I guess. I think Frank, the only thing he's here for is because he married Miss Trent, who was this man's property daughter. These rest in peace, or Billy Daniels went out and bought them. See, everywhere we found the stone.
Mm-hmm.
We're assuming those are graves.
Right. Wow.
So here's John Overstreet. Overseer of the plantation, along with Mr. Trent. He's the oldest, 1820.
Overstreet? Oh, over there. Okay, I got you.
So with all the small markers, how many graves total here?
I haven't counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quarters were down along that hill. And when he was here, there were still 2 old black guys living down there in the bottom, which we assume were holdovers from. Did you read that Vernon in his will said, if it be compatible with the laws of the Commonwealth, I want to free my slaves? And
With
James,
the exception of the woman who tried to kill him 4 times.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Dell, whatever her name is.
And James petitioned the court to overturn that.
Well, that's what I was telling Karen the other day, because I remembered that. That here he is, he's a young man, he's inherited, but he's not of age yet, so he had to
Yes.
have a executor or whatever, you know, taking over before he could inherit it majority. And he's already challenging the wishes of his father.
Well, it's the only way they were going to make a living, unfortunately, back then. And James weighed 400 plus pounds and was drunk all the time, so I mean.
He wasn't going to go out and do it anymore.
Nah, he was all right.
Do you know what they grew? What? This is the older part. I'm not sure where the entrance is going to be, so you can go around. There's an entrance right here.
Okay, we're entering the
Old Baptist Cemetery in Lynchburg.
Old Baptist Cemetery in Lynchburg, Virginia. And who is buried here, Susan?
Well, we have two Griffin sisters who are buried in the nude part, and we don't know if anyone's here. We're just looking to make sure. So park somewhere. Because we're going to walk this area. I just leave it here. But that's what most people do at cemeteries, isn't it?
Okay, so this is our next adventure. We're going to see if we have any relatives buried here in the Baptist Cemetery.
This is the older part, and I'm not sure where the entrance is going to be, so you can go around. There's an entrance right here.
Okay, we are entering the
Old Baptist Cemetery in Lynchburg.
Old Baptist Cemetery in Lynchburg, Virginia. And who is buried here, Susan?
Well, we have two Griffin sisters who are buried in the new part, and we don't know if anyone's here. We're just looking to make sure. So park somewhere, because we're going to walk this area.
Can we park here, or can we park in the grass?
I don't know. I just leave it here.
In the road?
Yeah, that's what most people do in cemeteries, isn't it?
I have no idea if people park in the cemeteries. Okay, so this is our next adventure. We're going to see if we have any relatives buried here in the Baptist Cemetery of Lynchburg.